What's going on, my fish people? We just shot a video not too long ago. Now let's look at the process. We're doing some water changes real quick. We're gonna start on our 10-gallon tank. Don't mind me, I'm not wearing a shirt. I'm fat. Doing a water change on our 10-gallon because we're not running a filter on this tank. We're running pretty much air stones on a sponge filter. So what that is, there's no ammonia and stuff like that getting picked up by like a cartridge or anything like that. So we have to do water changes pretty much rapidly so that I can get rid of high levels of nitrites and things like that. So what I'm looking for is my new water hose system, my new siphoning tube. Has a little valve right here. We talked about it in another video. I stopped using it because I was having trouble because this is the kind that has a little ball inside and you kind of just keep going up and down until water gets in. These really suck. They're made for fish tanks that are higher up so that you keep bouncing and then eventually the water drops. Because these type of tubes work with gravity. But I'm going to show y'all another way how to use them. So let's get y'all a little closer. I don't bite. Don't be scared. That should be good. So what you do is, you're gonna have to get your hands wet. Let the water get in, and then you come up, and air gets trapped into it. And then you come up, then you come up, down, up and down, until eventually the water, the dojo lunch is coming near me. It just feels so weird. And now the water is just floating there. It's now doing it on its own, and I just have to siphon. Now, with sand bottom tanks, you don't really have to get all into side of the gravel, right? You want to watch your buckets as well as they don't overflow. The reason why I say you don't have to really like press it down into it, because the stuff that you want to get up is really just sitting at the top of the sand. It's not really all over the place inside of the gravel like if you was to have gravel. And you can pinch your hose to control the water. You know what I'm saying? Keep an eye. And I can lock this. The reason why I'm doing this tank first is because the third tank that we're doing had an ick problem and a fungus problem. So I don't want to transfer the jump back and forth. A lot of jump in this tank. I've been heavily feeding this tank. Then just lock it. You lock it, some water stays trapped in there, and you can transfer it over to the next tank with no issues. So we're gonna go dump this water real fast. Already on this tank. Make sure all the water get out of there. Tank is even having issues. Let's take a look at it.
So it's having a problem with plants. The plant's been dying off. I never found what happened to them fish or even where they went. He's the last one of them. We almost there, guys. Add a little bit of more water in here. Add our stress coat into our bucket. So the good news is our plecos made it. I cleaned out the filter completely, found the dead fish, got the dead fish out. We got some prime and beneficial bacteria going in here because I cleaned the filter out. Which means any beneficial bacteria that was alive in there is now dead. Because I used extremely hot water to get rid of it to kill any ick that's still left in the tank. Alright. Got some warm water in there. Let me get my rag. Wipe the front down pretty much. And then show you what I did. It's a little cloudy. There's a gourami. We added the driftwood in there. There goes one of the fish that survived. Now, once the fish catch it, they will never catch it again. If you're asking what happened to the plants that were glued to the rock substrate thing, they're right here. The other one is here. And the third one is still glued on a rock right there if you see it. Hopefully this does well. Hopefully I didn't crash the cycle with doing what I did. Look at the plecos right there. We're at the back of the tank. Look at the life. Look at this nice little area here. He most likely would hang out here. Look, sponge filters now in here. I wanted to swap sponge filters, put the new one in this tank and just put that one in there. But I don't want to damage this tank any more than it's already dealing with when it comes to the plant life inside of that tank. So pretty much I redid the tank, refiltered. Let's see what happens, guys. I made a mistake. I skipped the quarantine process, you know. It's something us hobbyists do. We like to cheat and take the shortcut out of things. If you're new into keeping fish, don't mind me, I'm like organizing while I'm doing this video. If you're new to keeping fish and you're that person to say, oh, I only want one fish tank. No, get yourself two. Set the other one up in your basement or somewhere where it won't bother no one. And when you set it up, that will be your quarantine tank. So like that, whenever you decide you want new fish, all you have to do is put them in that tank and they'll quarantine in there, and you'll just pretty much be waiting to see if those fish are sick. Instead of doing what I did and rush the process because you went 3 years without contaminating your fish and you were trusting where the fish was coming from. Mind you, I've been buying fish from Monster Pets for a very long time. For a very, very, very long time, and never ever had any type of illness or sickness come from any of their fish. crazy part about it is they quarantine their fish. They only add their fish into their fish tanks after quarantine. At least that's what I was told when I purchased fish there last time. If I remember, I brought 6. Remember, what they told me was they quarantine a fish. I got the 5 neon tetras from there and the 5 golden tetras from there. And both I had it to wait 7 days because they said they were quarantining. I picked them up. I literally watched them pulling fish out of quarantine. So what happened with this round, I have no clue. Maybe the beta was sick. But like I said, I see no signs of ICK on the beta. I actually still have the beta, even though it's dead. Viewer discretion advised, because I'm getting ready to show you. Here goes the beta. Now you're probably like, why you still have it? Why haven't you flushed it? Like I said, there's pros and cons to keeping dead fish. I'm gonna make another video about that on why keeping your fish after they die is still beneficial for your tank or for other things.